Journal entries are postings between two or more non-ledger and non-subledger accounts. Examples of a common journal entry are interest adjustments on a loan and depreciation postings. Many times your accountant will outline the entry to make. Keep in mind that entries affecting a bank balance or the client AR are not done as journal entries, but rather as ledger deposits or payments and client AR adjustments. We will first use the example of a depreciation adjustment where we need to debit our depreciation expense and credit the accumulated depreciation. There are two ways to do a journal entry. The first is by clicking the Access General Ledger icon in the Ledger tab, then the Journal Entry icon. On the screen, the top portion represents one part of the entry and the bottom portion allows you to log the rest. Choose the first account you wish to adjust from the dropdown. Enter the desired date of the entry and type the amount in either the debit or credit field. You can update the description or leave as defaulted. In the Offsetting Entries box, click the first line. Click the Chart Number dropdown, then find and select the desired offsetting account. Edit the description if desired, and enter the amount in the debit or credit column. If you need an additional line, you can either tab through the first line or use the down arrow on the keyboard. Fill in the next line, and when you tab past, the balance will update. To save the entry, the items in the Offsetting Entries box must offset the amount entered at the top. Clicking OK saves this entry, and any adjustments to this entry must be done by entering another journal entry. The other way to do a journal entry is by adding a zero item in the cash ledger. I prefer this method as I can make adjustments to the entry if needed, and can use the copy function to reproduce this if it is a regular or scheduled entry. Here we are in the cash ledger on a new line. Use the desired date of the entry and in the Payee field, be specific to the entry function if this is something you wish to reproduce regularly. Leave the deposit and payment field at 0 as you tab through the transaction detail. Here is where you will load the entry. In the chart number field, type in the chart number or select it from the drop-down list. Edit the description if desired and fill in the debit or credit field appropriately. Use the keyboard down arrow or tab through the end of the current line to get a new line and enter your offsetting entries. Once all the entries have been made, use the Control key on the keyboard to leave the transaction detail, which will check to make sure the entries are in balance. Because this is an entry in the cash ledger, you will want to make a zero deposit or add it to another deposit if you do not use your deposit ticket at the bank. In this way, the entry cannot be easily deleted. However, if an allocation needed corrected, you can still edit the allocations and even the date. If you needed to record a similar entry, you can look up the description from the Payee dropdown and it will duplicate the last entry, allowing you to edit if needed.